Chicago, Illinois, the soul of the American Midwest. In the heart of the American Midwest, where the shores of Lake Michigan kiss a skyline defined by innovation, resilience, and sheer architectural audacity, lies Chicago, Illinois, a city that breathes the American spirit. A melting pot of cultures, tastes, sounds, and sights, Chicago is more than just a metropolis. It's a living museum of history, a playground for art and food lovers, a hub for music and sports fans, and a traveler's dream wrapped in glass, steel, and soul. A city born from fire, rebuilt with vision. Few cities boast a legacy as powerful as Chicago's. The Great Chicago Fire of 1871 nearly obliterated the city, but out of its ashes rose a testament to American ingenuity and ambition. This catastrophe marked the beginning of Chicago's architectural revolution. Pioneers like Daniel Burnham, Louis Sullivan, and later, Frank Lloyd Wright, redefined what cities could look like. Today, towering giants like the Willis Tower, formerly Sears Tower, and the John Hancock Center loom over a city that is both a modern marvel and a historical icon. Chicago architecture, the living skyline. Chicago is often called the birthplace of the skyscraper. A journey through its downtown, known as the Loop, reveals a breathtaking mosaic of historic and futuristic buildings. Architecture buffs can embark on the Chicago Architecture River Cruise, which winds along the Chicago River, offering unmatched views and stories behind over 50 iconic structures. From the neo-Gothic Tribune Tower to the shimmering curves of the Aqua Tower, the city's skyline is both art and engineering in perfect harmony. Don't miss landmarks like the Rookery Building, with its Frank Lloyd Wright-designed lobby, and the Marina City Towers, which resemble corncobs and symbolize post-war urban optimism. Chicago neighborhoods, a city of cities. Chicago is a patchwork of vibrant neighborhoods, each with its own identity, rhythm, and flavor. From the bohemian vibes of Wicker Park to the soulful legacy of Bronzeville, the city's 77 official community areas tell stories of migration, artistry, resistance, and renewal. Lincoln Park offers upscale boutiques, historic brownstones, and the lush Lincoln Park Zoo, one of the few free zoos in the country. Pilsen, deeply rooted in Mexican-American culture, is a kaleidoscope of murals, taco joints, and the National Museum of Mexican Art. Hyde Park, home to the University of Chicago and former President Barack Obama, exudes intellectual and historical gravitas. Andersonville, once a Swedish enclave, now brims with LGBTQ+ pride and eclectic cafes. Chinatown and Greektown celebrate the culinary and cultural heritage of their communities with festivals, food, and flair. Exploring Chicago means moving between microcosms, each with its own soul. Chicago culture, grit, grace, and greatness. Chicago's cultural landscape is as towering as its skyline. It's the birthplace of Chicago blues, home to the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, and a stomping ground for jazz legends like Louis Armstrong and Nat King Cole. The Green Mill Cocktail Lounge, once a favorite of Al Capone, still hosts nightly jazz performances under a speakeasy-style ambience. The Art Institute of Chicago, guarded by its iconic bronze lions, houses masterpieces from Monet, Picasso, Van Gogh, and Grant Wood's American Gothic. Other major institutions like the Museum of Contemporary Art, the Field Museum, and the DuSable Museum of African American History ensure a rich tapestry of perspectives and stories. The city also pulses with theater, from Broadway in Chicago performances to edgy productions at Steppenwolf Theater Company, where Gary Sinise and John Malkovich once honed their craft. Chicago food, deep dish to dining delights. Mention Chicago food, and the debate starts, deep dish or thin crust? But the city's culinary scene goes far beyond its famed deep dish pizza, pioneered by Pizzeria Uno in the 1940s. Chicago-style hot dogs, dragged through the garden with 7 toppings on a poppy seed bun, are a street food must. Italian beef sandwiches, dipped in jus and topped with giardiniera, are a South Side staple. For fine dining, restaurants like Alinea, frequently ranked among the world's best, elevate molecular gastronomy to theater. Ethnic enclaves serve up global flavors, from Polish pierogies and Indian curries to Ethiopian injera and Vietnamese pho. No food tour is complete without visiting Portillo's, trying Garrett's Chicago mixed popcorn, or enjoying a Cubs game with an old-style beer and a brat. Things to do in Chicago, attractions and experiences. Whether you're visiting for a weekend or a month, Chicago has no shortage of world-class attractions. Here's a short list of must-sees. Millennium Park. Snap a selfie at Cloud Gate, aka The Bean, or catch a free concert at the J. Pritzker Pavilion. Navy Pier. Ride the iconic Centennial Wheel, explore the Chicago Children's Museum, or take a lake cruise. Shedd Aquarium. Home to over 30,000 aquatic animals, it's one of the largest indoor aquariums in the world. Adler Planetarium and the Museum of Science and Industry offer awe-inspiring exhibitions on space, innovation, and human achievement. Chicago Sports. Catch a Bulls game at United Center, cheer on the Cubs at Wrigley Field, or get rowdy with Chicago Bears fans at Soldier Field. Lakefront Trail. Walk, bike, or rollerblade along 18 miles of waterfront beauty, perfect for sunrises and skyline views. Chicago Events, a city that celebrates. Chicago is a city of festivals, cultural, musical, culinary, and more. Taste of Chicago, the world's largest food festival, held in Grant Park, attracts millions with everything from gourmet eats to carnival food. Chicago Air and Water Show, watch the skies and lake come alive with daredevil stunts. Chicago Blues Festival, a free, 3-day celebration of the city's musical roots. Lollapalooza, a 4-day mega music fest in Grant Park, showcasing everything from rock to EDM. Chicago Jazz Festival, Riot Fest, Pitchfork Music Festival, and Chicago Gourmet round out a packed calendar. The St. Patrick's Day Parade is iconic for dyeing the Chicago River green, a tradition unique to this spirited city. Chicago Travel and getting around. Traveling to and around Chicago is surprisingly easy for a city of its size. O'Hare International Airport is one of the busiest in the world and connects Chicago globally. Midway Airport serves domestic travelers with efficiency and charm. Once in the city, the CTA, Chicago Transit Authority, provides an extensive L train and bus network. The L, short for elevated, loops around downtown and extends to neighborhoods far and wide. Divvy bikes, rideshares, and water taxis offer alternative ways to navigate the city. Whether you're a solo traveler, family, or group, Chicago is navigable, walkable, and ready to explore. Chicago sightseeing, from iconic to unexpected. Tourists often start at Willis Tower Skydeck, where glass boxes hang 1,353 feet over the city. Nearby is Buckingham Fountain, modeled after Versailles and lit up beautifully at night. Take a stroll down Magnificent Mile for high-end shopping, or explore quirky boutiques in Logan Square. One hidden gem? The 606, a converted railway line turned elevated park and trail, winding through 4 neighborhoods with public art, greenery, and scenic overlooks. Don't forget to snap skyline photos from North Avenue Beach. Explore the Chicago Cultural Center with its Tiffany glass dome. Visit Graceland Cemetery, resting place of Chicago legends like Marshall Field and Ernie Banks. Chicago City Guide, tips for visitors. Best time to visit, late spring, May-June, or early fall, September-October, for perfect weather and fewer crowds. Where to stay? Downtown/the Loop for proximity to major attractions. River North for nightlife and art galleries. Lakeview or Wicker Park for a more local, eclectic vibe. Don't miss catching a show at Second City, where comedy legends like Tina Fey and Stephen Colbert launched their careers. Taking a Sunset Lake cruise. Eating at a Chicago diner after midnight. Chicago, USA, a model American city. What makes Chicago quintessentially American? It's a city of immigrants and industry, of hard workers and dreamers, of neighborhoods and nations in microcosm. It's a place where the American dream dances with diversity. Where jazz is born in the back room and skyscrapers stretch to the heavens. Where hot dogs are sacred, and sports are life. Unlike some coastal cities, Chicago doesn't demand your attention, it earns it. It welcomes the curious, the hungry, the ambitious, and those simply looking to fall in love with a new corner of the world. Explore America, start with Chicago. If you're seeking a city that tells the American story in all its highs, lows, grit, and glory, visit Chicago. It's where you'll find museums as vast as your curiosity, neighborhoods as colorful as your imagination, and a spirit as big as Lake Michigan itself. From historic architecture and five-star food to free outdoor concerts and hidden alleys bursting with graffiti art, Chicago is not just a destination, it's an experience. Whether you come for the food, the festivals, or the skyline, you'll leave with memories forged in steel, soul, and style. Chicago isn't just a city. It's a stage, a kitchen, a gallery, a ballpark, a sanctuary, a soundtrack. It's America in full color.